May the 13th, 2020. As the National Hurricane Center just came out with its update, they had scheduled it for 8 p.m. but they Central Time, but they came out just a few minutes early with it, and they said they will update it again Thursday evening. What you're looking at is the system, and from the video last night, they're talking about a 70% chance of development off the Florida coast, around the Georgia, South Carolina area. But it's already kind of surprising them and starting to form here in the Gulf of Mexico. You can see by the upper level wind shear, everything's going to try to move across the southern peninsula of Florida. So you guys, as you see these large thunderstorms popping up here, just prepare for some windy and wet weather, and it's predicted to move across the southern tip of Florida and move into the northern Atlantic. But you can see it's starting to try to ramp up right there. It's getting so much wind shear now, it's not going to be able to develop to a major storm anytime early. Switching from the 2-day forecast to the 5-day graphical tropical outlook, you can see it here. You've got this 70% chance of formation in 5 days, and we talked about this last night. Now, right there is the center, and you just saw that on the satellite radar. And the storm is actually a little larger than the white line. The red line. That's why I said the southern sections of Florida. Watch for very windy, stormy conditions, and depending on the heat in this area will depend on how severe those storms are. And then it's going to move north by northeast into the Atlantic, and this is expected to happen by early in the weekend. A broad area of low pressure is expected to develop in a couple of days near or just north of the Bahamas. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development of the system, and a subtropical depression or storm is likely to form this weekend. The system is expected to move generally northeastward over the western Atlantic through early next week. The next special tropical weather again will be tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. Now what you're seeing on this Navy map, or called nav, Jim, guys, is the red areas are high pressure areas. Here and here you got low pressure in the northern Atlantic, but you're going to see this form just again off the Gulf of Mexico, and it's going to move up along the just off the Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia coastline. And it's tropical in the sense that it is counterclockwise. So what that means is as the storm moves up the east coast, you will see winds coming from behind you or from on land if you're in the coastal waters on your boat or wherever you're at on the beach. And then that's going to change just like a hurricane, and then that will come in from the north. Now, this is not expected to be a hurricane, don't get me wrong, but just watch for low-lying flooding and some extra heavy winds and possibly some power outages. But especially you guys in South Florida, if you're looking forward to the weekend to go out and do some boating, it's not a good time to do it. Now, we're going to update this daily as we do during every hurricane season, even though we're still a couple weeks out from the technical start. But it's been a little different the last few weeks. But let's play this forward. What you're going to see is, again, the high pressure starts to move off into the Atlantic right there. You're going to see a second low pressure area form behind it. But here we go. There comes the one into the Atlantic. Another one is pulling off the coast. What we're seeing is a setup for flooding, guys. And I don't know how long this pattern will continue, but we got two low pressure areas that are going to affect the same exact areas. But guys, this is like a turn around, don't drown in a flood area. Turn your boat around and don't get too far offshore in the next few days as the storm moves off the coast of Florida. And you're going to have higher winds, stronger rip tides, and more rain off the entire east coast. And you can see that it kind of parallels the entire coastline. But guys, we're watching it. You watch it. This will be updated tomorrow. It's a heads up. Be safe.